Good evening. Karela United banned by FIFA over unpaid wages. Edo Queens drawn into a hard group. Belgium fighting a wildfire half the size of Manhattan. Trump offering gestures to Pyongyang that Seoul did not ask for. The far right sitting inside European institutions now, not outside them. It is the middle of the week and nobody is where they were supposed to be. A Ghanaian football club has been banned from registering new players. FIFA imposed the sanction after the club failed to pay money it owed. The club affected is Karela United, who play in the Ghana Premier League. They owe the debt to a player named Sana Camara. The ban means Karela United cannot sign anyone until the debt is settled. The amount owed has not been disclosed. FIFA enforces these bans to ensure clubs meet their financial obligations to players. Karela United will need to pay what they owe before they can bring in new signings. 3 News reported this. Financial transfers from Saudi Arabia to the United Arab Emirates are now subject to tighter rules. The Saudi government has introduced new restrictions on moving money between the two countries. The move appears to be the latest sign that tensions are rising between the two Gulf nations. Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, has not commented on the changes. The two countries have been close allies for years, but this suggests the relationship may be cooling. Middle East Eye reported this. A wildfire is burning through peatlands and pine forests in Belgium. Firefighters are working to surround the blaze and bring it under control. The fire has now spread across 3,000 hectares. That's roughly half the size of Manhattan. The flames are consuming boggy peatlands and pine trees. Hiking trails have also been destroyed. The fire grew larger over the weekend. The Hindu reported this. A live stream from Alaska has become an unexpected summer sensation. Brown bears gather at Brooks Falls to catch sockeye salmon, and people around the world are watching. The cameras attracted 7.3 million views this summer. That's 70% more than last year. The bears have built a dedicated following. Viewers track individual animals as they fish in the falls. The live stream runs throughout the salmon season at Brooks Falls in Alaska. Times of India reported this. The Prime Minister has been caught out by an online hoax. He exchanged messages with someone he believed was Susie Wiles, the Chief of Staff to Donald Trump. The person was an imposter. The Prime Minister says he is not embarrassed by what happened. The messages were sent before he realized the account was fake. Susie Wiles holds one of the most senior positions in the incoming American administration. She will be among the president-elect's closest advisors when he takes office next month. The incident raises questions about security around communications with foreign officials. BBC News reported this. The Prime Minister says he is not embarrassed. That is one way to handle it. President Trump wants fewer military exercises with South Korea. Seoul is not enthusiastic. United States and South Korea have long held joint military exercises on the Korean peninsula. President Trump now wants to scale those back. He says the drills are hostile to North Korea. But there's a problem with that reasoning. Under Kim Jong-un, North Korea has actually grown more aggressive towards South Korea, not less. The move is creating tension with America's ally in Seoul. South Korea has relied on its military partnership with Washington for decades. Any reduction in joint exercises could weaken that alliance at a time when the North is becoming more belligerent. NYT World reported this. China has been marking the legacies of 2 leaders from its reform era. Jiang and Zhu Rongji oversaw the country's roaring economic growth during the 1990s. The commemorations have stirred public nostalgia for that period. President Xi Jinping has responded by calling for party unity. The moment carries quiet tension. China's current direction under Xi differs sharply from the more open economic policies of those earlier decades. For observers outside China, the contrast matters. It signals how Beijing views its past reforms and what that might mean for its economic approach going forward. Straits Times reported this. The draw has been made for the 2026 WAFU B Women's Champions League. Nigeria's Edo Queens have been placed in Group B. They'll face ASEC Mimosas of Côte d'Ivoire in what's being described as a difficult group. Edo Queens are the current champions of the Nigeria Women Football League. That title earned them their place in the regional competition. The WAFU B Zone covers West African nations including Nigeria, Ghana, Côte d'Ivoire, and several others. The tournament will test how the Nigerian champions measure up against the best club sides from neighboring countries. Complete Sports NG reported this. Investors who wait for stock market crashes before buying may end up paying more in the long run. That's the counterintuitive advice now circulating among market watchers. The reasoning goes like this. Bull markets regularly hit record highs. That's what they do. But if you sit on the sidelines waiting for a 20% drop, you might miss out on further gains. By the time that crash arrives, prices could still be higher than they are today. The market tends to climb more than it falls over time, so buying at a peak may actually cost you less than waiting for what feels like a bargain. It challenges the instinct to hold back when markets are soaring. MarketWatch reported this. The traditional centre ground in the European Parliament is shifting. The coalition that has shaped European Union laws for years is now working alongside far-right members of Parliament. Those include politicians from Germany's AfD party and Marine Le Pen's National Rally in France. Alberto Alemano reports that this marks a significant change in how the EU operates. The European Union was founded on a promise by its member nations never to repeat the darkest chapters of their history. European integration grew from that commitment. Now the far right is gaining influence not from outside the system, but from within it. The centrist parties that once kept them at arm's length are now collaborating with them on legislation. Guardian Migration reported this.